Then as we head into this afternoon, we're all going to see the colder air, and then things are going to change over to some snow showers by about after about 4 p.m. here today. But we are tracking some light snow to the north and east as you head up 71 going towards Cleveland. They are getting some snow mixed in with a little bit of rain on the west side of the metro. Here, central Ohio, just rain. But as we go to the west, we have even more rain. This whole band there over Indianapolis, much of central Indiana, that is all building to the east, and that's going to affect us here as we go through the next several hours this morning. And then we'll catch a break around midday, but then more rain and snow showers are in the forecast here for this afternoon into tonight. All because of this area of low pressure that's not just bringing us the rain and snow, it's also kicking up the wind. Winds are gusting right now up to 30 miles per hour, but they will gust to 40 to 45 here as we go through the morning and lingering into this afternoon. And that same storm system has produced winds gusting up to 60, even 70 miles per hour out across the Dakotas. Not going to see those strong winds here, but still some very strong winds. As we can see the projection by 7 a.m., we're getting gusts over 40 miles per hour. That continues for several hours. You put that with the rain, it's going to make for a messy situation here through the morning and into the early part of this afternoon. And then things do start to calm down, but we're tracking some more snow showers. So again, some snow may mix in with the rain here as we go through the morning. We'll catch a break around midday. Still some more scattered rain showers, and then we have to watch that chance for some light snow that could bring us a dusting as we go through this evening. That'll clear out of here, but we're tracking another chance for some more snow as we look ahead to Friday. This one's going to be mostly south of I-70, but the system on Saturday, another smaller one, actually looks like it has a better chance of bringing all of us some light snow accumulation as we go through the day. But temperatures getting a lot colder. We got 20s for highs on Saturday. By Sunday, though, with some fresh snow on the ground, we may be stuck in the teens as we go through the day on Sunday before temperatures start to rebound looking ahead to next week.
Still dealing with a lot of rain and flood concerns in the Pacific Northwest with an atmospheric river set up there. Clipper system bringing some snow now to the interior Northeast, and we have blizzard warnings in the West Virginia mountains. Cold air trapped into the upper Midwest, but more cold air to come with another Arctic blast arriving by the weekend. Right now we have the 20s in Minneapolis, 30s from Grand Rapids down to Des Moines. In general, 30s and 40s in the Ohio River Valley up into New England, and then 50s, even 60s as we head into the south, so a bit warmer for many of us. And then the 50s here in the Pacific Northwest. Really nice, pleasant conditions from San Diego to Phoenix with the 70s and 50s in Denver. There's that atmospheric river in the west, really just pumping moisture in from the Pacific in multiple rounds. That's already led to a lot of flood problems in Washington state. And then we have snow moving toward Buffalo. You'll pick up a few inches out of this particular Clipper system. Really messy weather though off to the south of that, from Cleveland down to Indianapolis and Louisville, with just rain and some windy conditions across portions of the Mid-South and the South. Here are your watches and warnings. We do have flood watches and warnings in effect here in Washington state. Those will be ongoing. And then as we head a little bit farther east into the High Plains, Montana, the Dakotas, dealing with some winter weather advisories. That goes for you here in Wisconsin and Michigan also. And then more winter weather advisories heading into the snow belt. Places like Buffalo, as I mentioned, picking up a few inches of snow out of this particular system, and then upstate New York into Vermont, New Hampshire, also looking at especially some higher elevation snow. In pink here, this is that blizzard warning in the higher elevations of the West Virginia mountains, where winds could be up over 50 miles per hour. Travel will be almost impossible there. Taking you coast to coast with those temperatures now, we do have the 50s in Seattle, Spokane, Boise. You're quiet with the 60s. And then looks like we'll be in the 40s in Sacramento, warm in the southwest, as I mentioned, with those 70s. Denver up into the 60s by tomorrow. We'll see 60s here across Texas and 70s, so pretty quiet weather for you. Heading into the Mid-South, a little warmer than what we have been. Little Rock and Atlanta, we are in the 50s, near 60, so right about average. And then heading into the Mid-South, Memphis warming up into the 50s today, mid-50s. We'll get cold there over the weekend though. Louisville, you're going to fall back into the 30s by tomorrow, and St. Louis, you're going to be right around 40. Cold in the upper Midwest there in the Twin Cities, Wisconsin, Des Moines, Grand Rapids, Indianapolis, all going to be feeling the chill with more cold air to come. And in New England, pretty typical weather this time of year. We're looking at the 30s, stretching from Portland into the mid-Atlantic, with DC in the 40s.
Power outages can often happen during winter storms. Walker Lawson has some advice for staying safe when your power goes out.
There are ways you can stay safe. The Red Cross of South Carolina recommends having a kit before the first flakes fall.
If you lose power, you lose water. So make sure you have, water for your family members. We always like to say at least 3 days worth. Hopefully power wouldn't be out that long, but we never know.
Rebecca Jordan, executive director for the Red Cross of South Carolina, says using batteries is better for lighting than candles and to keep blankets to stay warm.
A lot of home fires in South Carolina, on average 6 a day. So we don't want people to use candles. I mean, even without losing power, we sometimes see people use space heaters and maybe have them too close to curtains or a sofa where then they ignite. So we do see fires, but a lot of fires start in the kitchen. So.
That's when Columbia Fire has to respond. Mike DeSuma, public information officer with Columbia Fire, says during these events, they respond most to accidents on the roadways, but there's always a risk for fires.
If you haven't, used your fireplace in a while, during a storm event is not really the time to just fire it up and see what happens. You got to make sure your fireplace is good to burn. It's really good if you've burned it in already and know it's safe to go. Definitely making sure you have a screen in front of your fireplace to prevent any embers from flying out there and catching stuff on fire.
DeSuma advises people to have a friend or family's place to go if it's cold and you lose power.
Window treatments can help save you money in your heating costs this winter. The Energy Department estimates in an average home, 1/3 of heat is lost through the windows. You can prevent some of that from happening by keeping the drapes or shades closed at night. That can actually act as an extra layer of insulation between your home and the windows. This helps keep up to 10% more heat inside your home, which can lower your energy bill. And don't forget about your plants in the winter. Experts say 24 hours before a big freeze, water your plants deeply, soaking them all the way down to the root. That will help insulate vegetables, herbs, and flowers. You can also get covers to protect your plants. One expert says he uses Christmas lights.
Just covering a plant when it goes down below freezing and stays below freezing for 2 days, that is a penetrating cold, and a cover oftentimes is not enough. I figured out that if you put Christmas lights around a plant, especially at the soil, and plug them in, they're heaters. It's an indoor-outdoor heater.
You can also try adding mulch to any landscaping beds and on top of soil for newly planted shrubs and trees. That will also help insulate plants in the freezing weather. And just like people and plants, extreme cold can also be harmful to your pets. Experts say a good rule of thumb is if you're cold outside, your animals will be too.
If you have a very young or very old animal, they're even more susceptible to the cold. So if pets do have to be outside, make sure that they're cuddly and safe and warm. There are ways to weatherproof things for animals that maybe, you have a community cat you're caring for. Lots of great stuff you can do there. But for your pets, just please bring them inside. It is far too cold. Additionally, cats and small mammals might seek shelter near or under your car. So honk the horn, tap on that top of the car, get them out of there. Wipe your pet's paws off if you have salt or other chemicals on the pavement, and just use your best judgment.
Veterinarians and other experts also recommend snow boots for your dogs to protect their paws. It can also help them keep safe from the ice when it melts, which can be toxic for pets, and prevent them from getting frostbite. Yes, dogs can get frostbite too if the temperature is below 32 degrees. The American Kennel Club says dogs' tails, ears, nose, and paws are more susceptible. Well, that does it for us today on this Weather Impact Special. I'm Jessica Janner Castro. Thanks so much for watching, and stay safe and warm this winter.